Fulfill your destiny and subscribe to the Geek Academy. Leave a like and comment.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the Geek Academy podcast. Thank you so much for coming and watching today. My name is Matt, and this is
Tony
Felber.
There you go.
Yeah, we're so excited to have you today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Yes, please comment. We need comments so we know
do.
what to talk about.
Yeah. Just leave a good old hello there or something.
Hello there.
Just something funny to make us laugh, or give us suggestions for what you want to hear in the future and our next episodes. Yeah. So today we're gonna get into our list of our top, not 10 but 11 Star Wars movies. Of all the Star Wars movies, which one's the
Ranking worst to best.
to the best? He said it too.
It's gonna get controversial up in here.
It will get pretty controversial. Please don't hurt our feelings in the comments. We'd prefer very positive stuff. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
let's
Matt's
get
very sensitive.
straight to it with number 11. I think we have the same thing. Number 11 is 3, 2, 1.
Rogue One.
I like the movie.
Is there really much to say about why? I think it's pretty obvious. Just to put it into perspective.
I think the director choked on their aspirations. Yeah.
Very good one, Matt.
Oh, we'll insert a laugh track in there later.
But yeah, I mean, I think it's just like it just didn't really feel like a Star Wars movie. It just felt like, hey, how are we gonna make money off Star Wars?
Yeah.
Oh, let's make a drawn out 2-hour movie about how the Botham spies got the plans and how Darth Vader could have easily gotten it.
Yeah.
But decided not to. Like, I don't know. I just thought that was very.
I know.
And then all the characters died. And I like some of the characters. Like, Saw Gerrera was awesome for like the 3 minutes he was in before
we did
he
see him in
died.
Fallen Order.
No, he was in Fallen Order. That was pretty cool, yeah.
Yeah, Forrest Whitaker did a great job.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in my opinion, same thing. I think Donnie Yen's character, if you know who Donnie Yen is, the guy that says, "I'm one with the Force is with me."
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Blind dude. Yeah, sorry.
Oh, I loved him a lot. Yeah, he was
he's
good.
Great. Jyn Erso is kind of a lot of them were throwaway characters, like Han Solo types, like the leading male character. I forget his name. He's that forgettable.
It's just like
it's nothing we haven't seen before.
Just from the die in the end. Like, we knew they were gonna die in the end.
Yeah, we knew they were gonna die,
and we knew the outcome too. So it didn't really. I don't know. It just felt kind of pointless.
Yeah, it is what it is. But yep, that's our number 11, Rogue One.
All right.
And you know what? It appears as we have come to the same decision again for our number 10 slot. Of course, because we're homies. Of course, we wouldn't have the same opinion for now. Our number 10, 3, 2, 1, The Phantom Menace. Yeah. This is considered the worst Star Wars movie. I think it's because of all the political garbage in it.
It's just because it's like a waste of time for most of it.
Yeah.
I mean, not a waste of time. Like I said, I think every movie has its place. I think it sets up what the next two movies are going to bring up pretty well. But that's just it. It's like that's what the movie felt like. Just a giant setup. Until the end, at least, with Darth Maul and everything.
It's one big setup.
And then, there goes Qui-Gon, one of the best Jedi ever.
I know.
Bye-bye.
That was a waste of Liam Neeson.
Basically.
I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want. If you have midichlorians, I want that. If you've seen Taken, you get that reference. I'm assuming Tony, by his face, obviously you can see it, but I don't think he's seen Taken.
No, I've seen it.
Liam Neeson's amazing. That's it.
I mean,
that's the
Star
podcast.
Liam
Neeson. Yeah. Yeah. So Phantom Menace was good. Darth Maul, amazing. Clone Wars, he was amazing. Darth Maul's always been such a good character.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's our number 10. Number 9, we have come to different decisions.
The first difference.
Yeah, the first difference of many. It's starting to change now. All right, Tony, how about you start this time?
And just put this back into perspective. We love basically all these movies, except for Rogue One. I mean,
I know.
I love The Phantom Menace up.
Yeah.
On my list, 10 to 1, I love all those movies. They all have a place. They all serve a purpose. They all have a good place in my heart. Rogue One will never have a place in my heart.
Yeah,
never.
It just doesn't. Yeah, I
This doesn't.
just talk. I don't even. The movie doesn't even deserve our time anymore, Tony.
Yeah, so moving on.
Moving on.
My number 9
Yeah.
is The Force Awakens.
Okay.
I chose The Force Awakens because it's not my favorite movie. Obviously, it's not number 1.
Yeah.
It's entertaining. It's a good way to set up, bringing back all the old cast and Han Solo and Chewbacca and all that. I really thought the plot point where Kylo Ren had to kill his father Han Solo to become more
Spoilers.
dark side. I thought that. I mean, I'm sure people have seen this already if they're
everyone's
listening to
seen
this podcast. But spoilers. Yeah, he dies. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like there wasn't as much like fire to it for like a Star Wars movie.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I think it's not my number. It's not my number 9.
So what is it for you? What's your number 9?
Would you really like to know?
Your number 9? Yes, I would like to know.
Okay. Solo: A Star Wars Story. Boom.
Ooh, Solo.
Solo: A Star Wars Story is pretty good.
See, that's interesting because it really kind of lets you know about how you feel about the Phantom Menace, because the Phantom Menace is considered to be one of your worst movies.
Yeah.
Even under Solo, which is even part of the main trilogies.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on.
Solo beat my expectations. I expected to walk in and be like, Donald Glover was good, but the rest of the movie sucked. He was nothing like Han Solo. He did a good job. He's no Harrison Ford. He never will be. But it was a good movie. I was happy with it. I was like, this is good. I enjoyed it. It adds to the lore of Star Wars, and that's kind of what these anthology series are meant to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it.
Okay. Ready for number 8?
Number 8.
Okay. My number 8 is Star Wars: The Last Jedi, the most
Last Jedi.
hated Star Wars movie, and I don't understand. I think it's
agree.
because Rian Johnson sucks and pisses off Mark Wahlberg. Mark Wahlberg. Mark Hamill. I'm sorry. Mark Hamill. I'm sorry. I apologize to the goat.
I feel like it's probably in the Star Wars community. It's probably worse than Phantom Menace.
You think it's worse?
I don't think so.
Yeah. People think it's worse.
People think it's worse.
I think it's people's second worst. I've seen in many rankings, but I think we talked about it last episode lightly. I think we were just getting a broad talk about Star Wars, but Last Jedi did what it sought out to do. It told a good story. That Yoda cameo was awesome. I'm a big Yoda guy. I love Yoda. It was a good movie. I was happy at the end of it. I think it was a proper send-off to the Luke Skywalker character.
Yeah.
The redemption arc was good, and I liked it. I think people crapped on it way too much because it's nothing like your average Star Wars movie. So, yeah, that's what I think.
I agree. It's a good point. My number, we're on 8, right? My number 8 is Attack of the Clones.
Yeah?
Yeah, I just didn't like the first hour of the movie, I would say. First hour of the movie was kind of pretty boring.
Yeah.
Just a lot of Anakin and, lot of Anakin being creepily weird. And I know we talked about that last episode. Sorry,
milady.
But like, I understand why he does it, but at the same exact time, it's like, it's not really entertaining. It's not really that Star Wars. Like, we didn't go to see
sand.
Star Wars to see, I hate sand. It's rough and coarse and irritating. And it gets everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, no, we did not come to a Star Wars movie to hear that.
Yeah, no. It's creepy. I think Hayden Christensen is awesome. I think cut him some slack. That was his first time, like, really playing Anakin. I think he did a much better job in Episode 3. But I think his emotion in his acting is great. I think he did a good job. I think he might have been the highlight of that movie. I think he was, and Obi-Wan. Him and Obi-Wan.
Yeah, Obi-Wan was good. But yeah, I mean, like I said, last episode I talked about how it's kind of understandable why he's like that, but it's just not as entertaining as some of the other movies as well. All I'm saying, still love the movie. Don't get me wrong. All right, moving on to number 7.
Yes, and bouncing back off of what you said, my number 7 is Attack of the Clones.
Wow.
Sand. That's literally like the theme of the movie. Oh my god.
You got Anakin Sand, and you also
not just the men, but the woman. And the children too. Like, Anakin's just a child killer.
I slaughtered them like animals.
He's been doing it since he was a Jedi. Yeah. I think it had a great job at showing Anakin's dark side, but I think it was a little premature. I think he should have still been like a little more like his Clone Wars counterpart in Matt Lanter, which is obviously two different takes on the character. But you know, it was a good movie. I'm entertained. That was like one of the first Star Wars movies I was watch on VHS a lot. I got a lot of love for the movie, but it's not one of my favorites.
Yeah. You know, like I said, we love all these movies basically.
Yeah,
so
we love them. We love Star Wars. That's really it.
All right, my number 7 is Solo.
Oh, we already talked about this.
We already talked about it. I know you don't really appreciate it as much as I do. I like the implementation of Darth Maul being at the end. I feel like they could build off that, and honestly, and make like a little like this little something. I don't know, because it's interesting because we haven't seen Darth Maul in a live action film since Episode 1.
I would, you know what?
It'd
I
be
would
very
love
interesting
to
to see him other than that.
I would love to see a live action Clone Wars movie.
Yeah,
With like Darth Maul, Hayden Christensen, maybe something like that. I mean, that's a pipe dream right there. That probably won't ever happen.
No.
But yeah,
I just want to see
maybe in the Kenobi series we'll see some Darth Maul.
Maybe.
You never know. A man can dream. But yeah, Solo. All right, I think we're down to number 6. Yeah, I'll start. The Force Awakens.
Okay, it's a lot higher than it is on mine.
Yeah. I think it has a special place in my heart because it was the first Star Wars movie that came out after a long time.
Yes.
And it reignited the series. And I didn't hate it. I think there was a lot of missed opportunity there, especially in actually reuniting the original Star Wars cast. Like, why would you not do that? Why would you not do that? Like, you had all the original cast in one film, but you couldn't get them in they're all friends. So I don't understand why you can't get them in a room together for one scene and then boom, it's over. I don't know.
Yeah,
I guess they didn't realize that Carrie Fisher would pass away.
Yeah, that was hard on everybody.
But then you killed Han Solo. Like, I don't know.
But I, like I said about that before, I think that was kind of cool how he had to die because of the balance between the dark and the good side of Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren didn't want to be on the good side.
I know,
so
it had to happen. But you know, Force Awakens is just a new hope too. Sorry, no shade. Yeah, so Force Awakens is my number 6.
My number 6, I have The Rise of Skywalker, the most recent movie of the series.
Underrated.
Probably the last one of the... Yes, and I agree. It's very underrated. Yeah. The only thing I really didn't like about it was how fast the Emperor was implemented.
Yes.
I didn't like that he was in the first 2 minutes.
Yes.
I feel like the scene could have worked just as well with Kylo Ren going in there and just hearing his voice.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it could have done the same effect.
Yeah.
I feel like we didn't have to see him in that scene. But, you know, to each their own. I don't know. I felt like it was kind of an awkward transition. Mm-hmm. Because, like, it's just like all of a sudden, like, oh my god, he's back. And that's what the whole plot is based off of. That's the only thing I didn't really like about it. But
yeah,
I did like the movie a lot. I liked the movie a lot. There's a lot of, like, really, like, crazy scenes. Like, oh my god, that scene at the end. Like, both of the scenes, like, where all the ships from all over the galaxy come and, you know, all over the galaxy come and help out. And, you know, obviously the scene at the end with Rey, you know, with all Jedi being behind her. I love that. I really did love that.
Yeah. That leads to, you said like all I really had to say.
Yeah.
Number 5, leading to number 5, which mine is The Rise of Skywalker. I love The Rise of Skywalker. I love, like, the inclusion of the holocrons. That was, like, a neat touch for me. Like, if any of you guys watched Rebels, that, like, had some holocron stuff in it. I didn't watch Rebels that much, but I know.
He also had it in Clone Wars.
Huh?
He also had a little bit in Clone Wars.
Yeah.
So.
But, I think Rise of Skywalker, I think the inclusion, Tony, you hit it on the nail with, I think the Emperor came way too quick. They just, like, opened the movie, Kylo Ren's like, what's up? And he's like, yes, the final order will come soon. And then it's like, it kind of feels like you're cheated out of, like, some big build, like, a big reveal. Like, kind of how they did in the original trilogy, where he just only appeared in episode 6, and it was just at the end.
Like, especially that scene where he was like, path to many abilities, some consider to be
unnatural.
That was
Like
a
all
nice
that?
callback.
Like, that was nice, but I feel like if they would have said that towards the end of the movie, it would have been like, oh, he said that before.
I know. Yeah. It pays off. I think the reveal would have been a better payoff if it was at the end of the movie.
I still loved it. I
loved it.
I saw
Babu
it
Freak
night.
is my homie. I freaking love that guy.
Babu Freak.
Hey, Babu Freak. I'm the CEO of Impressions, guys.
Droid is ready.
The droid is ready, I guess. Yeah, I think all the plot was nice. It concluded well. Though I didn't like how Rey is now Rey Skywalker.
I didn't like that. Like, no, you're not.
I think Rey could have just been Rey, and she was like, "I'm just gonna be Rey." I don't
Yeah.
like. It'd be cool, like, cause it's been Skywalker, and it would have been nice. Like, I would love to see more from those characters. I'd love to see Finn become a Jedi.
Yes.
And things like that. And then they kind of ruined it by saying this is the end of the Skywalker saga. And it ends with Rey becoming a Skywalker, thus kind of saying, okay, we're retiring Rey after a trilogy. Who knows? We might see more of her, but...
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, Finn did have a little bit of, Force sensitivity to him, which I appreciated.
I think a lot.
But the last thing I'm going to say, I don't want to drag this on too long, but
yeah.
The one thing I do want to say is I'm very interested in how they implemented the yellow lightsaber at the end of the movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought that was interesting.
That leaves a lot of questions.
Yeah, it does.
So I'm excited to see what they do with that.
Yeah. Finn was great. I think it's time to go to our number 4. I'll start.
I didn't say my number 5 yet.
You didn't?
No.
Oops, guys.
My number 5 is Last Jedi. A lot of people hated this movie. We kind of mentioned this before. I loved it a lot. I loved the ending with Luke using his powers to kind of trick Kylo Ren at the end. I thought that scene was amazing. I don't want to go too much into it because we already talked about it, but in my opinion, the most underrated Star Wars movie. I think a lot of people like to jump on that bandwagon and say, like, oh my god, it's so terrible. Oh my god, Disney ruined Star Wars. Oh my god. See, for me...
They didn't that much.
For me and Matt, we both agree on this. If it's Star Wars and it's done well...
Why complain?
Why complain? It's like you cannot tell me that you watched that movie and it was the worst movie you've ever seen, because it's not.
Exactly. I could name 100 movies worse than The Phantom Menace.
Oh, absolutely.
There's it's just because I think everyone's a critic, basically.
Especially today, everyone just jumps in that bandwagon.
I know.
So,
well, sorry about that premature number 4, but I think it is time for number 4. I'll start. Which is funny because my number 4 is number 4, A New Hope, the first Star Wars movie. It has a good place in my heart. It's not my favorite. I love it, but I don't know. It's just it doesn't excite me like the other movies in my list do. It's just Star Wars, It's just like, yes, Star Wars, but I don't know. I hate to be that person that just doesn't have such an emotional attachment to episode 4. I love the cinematography, like the binary sunset scene with the Force theme, the music, and the story is great. And I love it. I love Darth Vader. I love everything about it. It's just not my favorite. I love it, but it's just not my favorite. Tony?
Okay. I can agree with you on some points there.
Yeah.
But my number 4... Ooh, kind of risky to say this. My number 4 is
Uh-oh.
Return of the Jedi.
Oh, really?
And I know a lot of people will not agree with me on that one.
Because I don't.
But my top 4 are honestly pretty interchangeable. They're all amazing movies. Like, when they're all that good, it's hard to, like, pick one over the other. I just went with my heart, and I said Return of the Jedi has been number 4 because the 3 above it I just like just a little bit more. Not that Return of the Jedi didn't hit that nerve for me, because it definitely did. Mm-hmm. I think everything in the movie was just amazing.
Yeah. Well, that's funny because that leads to number 3.
Top 3.
Which is mine is Return of the Jedi. I am such a huge fan of Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
It's definitely better than A New Hope. Sorry, Tony.
That's okay.
That's like one of his favorites. I just love it's just like that movie is, to me, is poetry in motion. It's very poetic between the elements of the dark side and the light. Just Yoda's death. Force ghosts, father versus son. The Emperor, Ian McDiarmid, is outstanding as the Emperor. And just Vader's redemption arc. That's what I love about Star Wars. It's love, it's good versus evil, and then most importantly, it's always a redemption story. You'll in every single trilogy, there's some sort of redemption there. Like, maybe not so much in the prequels, but the original and the sequel, it's whether it's the redemption of Vader, it's the redemption of Kylo Ren. But the thing is, it's just Star Wars. I think that's what Star Wars is all about. It's about it's just beautiful. I don't know. I love Return of the Jedi, what it stands for. Luke, his green lightsaber, Jabba the Hutt, everything. It's one of my favorite Star Wars movies. It just brings me such warmth and such great memories.
Yeah, I think all the movies do in some sort of way.
Yeah.
But my number 3 is Empire Strikes Back, which is a lot of people's favorite, actually.
Didn't make my number 1.
They make your number 1, but you know,
Sorry,
it's a lot of people's number 1.
Yeah, I know. Everybody's.
I feel like it's
all
iconic.
the old heads.
It's very, very iconic in its own way.
Uh-huh.
Definitely feel like it was. Definitely feel like it was very. It's influential on the series. It really kind of. It's the introduction for everything involving the Force and everything like that. Like, we didn't really understand the Force that much in Episode 4.
I mean, did we really even see the Force? It was only just
not really.
the
no.
choke.
Yeah, that's all we kind of saw was the Force choke. We didn't really see anything else.
Yeah.
And also, like, you know, like, you also got like those, you know, the main thing that Luke did with the Force in Episode 4 was just like the confidence thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just like, oh, like, you can, like, when Obi-Wan was like, you can do it, Luke. Like, don't.
Luke, use the Force.
Your targeting computer is trash, Luke. No, like, he's just like, you know, he's just like, I don't know. It's more of a mental thing, I feel like. But I feel like it's a very, very good. I feel like it's a very good movie. One of my favorites, top 3, obviously.
Totally
you can't
agree.
go wrong with it. Moving on to number 2.
Yeah, on to number 2. It's funny that throughout this whole thing, our lists are like milliseconds off because it's usually he'll talk about his thing and then his movie that he likes, and then I'll go and mine I like more, which I think is so funny. But yeah, that was a random thought. But shockingly so, once again, my number 2 is Empire. Empire's amazing. I think I put it number 2 just because it's friggin' Empire. It's beats A New Hope easily. It's an amazing movie. Like, there's so many iconic moments. It's inspired a generation.
Yeah.
I don't know, Star Wars is just amazing. That's all I could say.
Yeah, that's one of the staples for Star Wars being amazing, definitely.
Yeah.
My number 2 is A New Hope. I like it a little better than Empire Strikes Back. I just like the character development. I think that's the main thing.
Yeah.
Luke going from, I'm gonna go where Tashi's to pick up some power converters.
He was such a brat in New Hope.
From that to being like the person who blew up the Death Star. Like, that's like an
Luke
amazing
Skywalker,
transformation. And you know what? It was believable. It's really hard to do that in a movie. Make the worst person, not the worst person, like the dull person be the hero. It's very, very typical in a movie, but it's always distasteful in most cases. Mm-hmm. They did it well. Yeah. And Han Solo, even from Han Solo, going from a pure bounty hunter, like just trying to get money, that's all he cared about, to basically being one of the main reasons why Luke was able to get that shot off. Yeah. Like, I thought that was amazing.
Exactly. Yeah, I love, what I love most about New Hope is Luke, his transformation, and I love how he becomes this hero, and he's yearning to get off this planet just as much, to basically, Anakin wants to get off Tatooine. Mm-hmm. Gets off Tatooine, trains as a Jedi, becomes evil, goes on his journey. Luke, raised on Tatooine, gets off, gets trained as a Jedi, stays good, and their paths intertwine, and Luke ends up redeeming, as I was talking about, the redemption arc. And that's what I love about Star Wars. It all meets up at one point. You know, I love it.
Yeah, I love that movie. I watched it last night even. It was really good.
Yeah, that's why it's so fresh in his head.
Probably. I might have Empire above if I didn't watch it last night, but... And on to our number 1. If you don't know any of the Star Wars movies, then you should already know what this is.
Yeah. All right. So you should expect if you've been really listening, you know. All right, let's do the countdown.
Yep.
3, 2, 1. Revenge of the Sith. That would be awkward if it was not the right one. Okay.
Rogue One.
No, never.
Absolutely not.
Quite the opposite, my friend. Revenge of the Sith is amazing. Revenge of the Sith is so good. Oh my god.
I could watch a movie.
Yeah, I could watch that movie 100 times.
That's easily my most watched movie.
Yeah. So, Revenge of the Sith is just the transition from the beginning, and how you realize that Palpatine was the one putting those visions in his head. And
oh my god,
Palpatine, you realize how much Palpatine was really pulling the strings the whole time throughout this prequel trilogy. And Anakin's just going, it shows how much the Jedi fell from grace. They fell from peacekeepers and negotiators and these like noble warriors to corrupt politicians, basically, and generals. And it shows how much the Republic like corrupted the Jedi.
Yeah.
And the politics of it, which it's kind of boring, but when
Emperor
you really
Palpatine really just did that.
Yeah.
He really did pulled all those strings. He did it without anyone even realizing it, and that's what makes him one of the most evil Sith Lords of all time. Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, man, it's just crazy how Anakin, how distrusting the council was of Anakin. If they looked past the darkness in him, and they were more careful and realized that maybe if we trust him more, we could prevent anything wrong from happening, this could have all been avoided. But seeing how the story just kind of works like a symphony, and that's why I love Revenge of the Sith so much, and it's kind of been one of my favorites since I was a kid, and I just as time goes by, I grow to appreciate it more.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there, and that's one of the reasons why I love Revenge of the Sith is because you can understand why Anakin kind of did what he did. Like, if you watch it the first time, you may not really understand it because it's like, oh, like, you know, it's just like, why did he do that? Like, it doesn't make sense. Why couldn't he just be a Jedi? You know, all this stuff. But like, you gotta realize, like, Padme is like the absolute sole reason of his life. That's the only thing that keeps him going. Like, it's like she's not just a baby mama. Like, she is literally like the love of his life. And
they did get married.
And it was a very awkward marriage.
Yeah, it was like robot hand.
Yeah, and for some reason, in every single taping of it, it just looks like an ultra widescreen angle.
I know.
I don't know why it does that, but
definitely
it was definitely up there. Now, I think we all agree on this list. You know, we have some minor differences, but let us know what you guys think.
Yeah. Give us your list in the comments. Don't be afraid. Just
and just to have you guys be involved a little more, I'm going to leave you guys with a question. If the opportunity comes up for the future of Star Wars, I'm not talking about movies, I'm not talking about, you know, extending the Skywalker series, would you think the best course would be to make a new Jedi Order and kind of reestablish what was in Episode 1 for The Phantom Menace? Or would you rather leave it and have just, like, one or two, like, main Jedi and have it be, like, the balance? Because the Force is all about the balance, and I think that's what made the Jedi fall so quickly, is because they were so overbalanced on their side that the good and the light, the good and the dark, just it didn't match up. There were so many Jedi and so little Sith. I feel like if it was matched up more evenly, then there could actually be peace.
Yeah, they did.
So that's an interesting question. So yes for a new Jedi Order, or no to establish peace. That's up to you guys. I would love to see your guys' response. I feel like it's a really interesting question. Yeah, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I bet you hear that from every YouTube video, but we're gonna say it because we want you to. Yeah, guys. So just thanks for watching. If you watched the whole way, thank you so much. We appreciate you guys. Just subscribe to our channel and follow our Instagrams in the bio. All right, guys. We appreciate you. Have a great day. Bye.